Good morning, YouTube. If you're looking for advice on how to land a supermodel, well, you've come to the wrong place because I still don't know, but it is related to April's story today. Apparently someone has a lot of dating hang-ups. They've been chewed up and spit out here on the internet, huh, April?
Yeah, there's an unidentified 29-year-old man that made a list of deal breakers when he goes on a first date. And I was just curious if you have similar deal breakers in this guy.
Well, I'm curious about the list here, so let's see if mine match up to his.
Okay,
huh?
so there's about 7 of them.
Okay.
One is cheated in a past relationship. Is that a deal breaker?
I would say yes, but it's very easy to just say in one chapter before you start another, but there's
Right.
obviously some wild exceptions, but generally, yes.
Yeah.
I would think you want to be with someone who would not want to
Right.
overlap in that
Right.
kind of sense.
I see, and I don't know, I think when you're in your early 20s, you make mistakes and you learn the hard way and you learn what not to do, and maybe you just have a hard time getting out of a relationship and you learn it the hard way and you get your heart broken, and a lot of crazy stuff happens when you first start dating.
Yeah, and I
So-
feel like cheating a lot comes from, especially when you're younger, people partying and having too much to drink and things. So that'd be one of my hangups, was like someone who drinks a lot or too
Okay.
much. I
Deal
think is that
breaker.
is that on the list?
Yes, actually, that's the next one. Take
Oh.
recreational drugs on a regular basis.
Well, that's drugs. Okay. I'm just saying, like, I'm not a big drinker, so that
Right.
would be a thing. Like, that's the source of a lot of problems with
You
people.
get so drunk, like I'll have one glass of wine or one beer.
I don't. I get buzzed. I get that feeling of buzzed, and I don't like that feeling, so I stop after. That's why I can only handle like 2
If
beers.
you ever need any information out of Tyler, like if you're ever in like some interrogation situation, the police or authorities just need to give you a beer and you'll just honesty vomit all over the place. It's great. It's amazing.
Well, what's next on the list?
Next, have an incurable sexually transmitted disease.
I would say that needs to be disclosed up front, probably. Yeah.
But
I mean,
how do you
so-
say that when you're on a first date? Hey, by the way, I have syphilis or herpes or gonorrhea, yellow
I think
fever,
that's
whatever.
something that you announce before you do the deed as
Right,
a courtesy.
you have
right?
to. I think it's illegal if you don't disclose that.
This list, I was expecting it to be some really like douchey things, but
Right.
so far this is pretty
Standard.
Standard, yeah.
Are currently in a situationship or have a friend with benefits.
Well, I mean, that's not really fair.
What? Are you crazy? You would date someone that has a friend with benefits?
Well, I mean, people have needs, I suppose, and maybe this person isn't someone you're serious with, and you're looking for the right person in the meantime. I have.
Yeah,
like,
but would you actually date somebody and be like exclusive with them if they had friends with benefits on the side?
I don't. I wouldn't say no.
Okay.
I would want to make it very clear from the beginning. Once we had been together and
Right.
I was interested in you, that I would not want you to see anybody
Okay,
else. I think
then
that would be
that
a
makes
thing.
sense.
But I've only had one night stand, and I would have loved to
did?
have another, but she didn't want to. So it was just like a
Really?
no thanks. So
What
I'm not much of a
happened?
casual guy either.
I've never had a one-night stand. You did have one?
I'm not gonna tell the whole story, obviously, but no.
We just need to give him a beer.
Absolutely not. No.
Where did
no.
you meet her?
This
Where
is-
did
this
you
is-
meet her?
This is where
Just
the end of
tell
oversharing
me.
happens. This is it.
Where did you meet her?
I'm not telling.
Online?
No. No.
At a Freddy's?
No. Stop. Next
a
on
car-
the list.
was there a car
I am
show?
not. It's not.
a
No.
car
I'm
show?
not. No. No. You say I overshare. That is not what I'm going to. But I'm just saying.
I'll get it out of him.
It was a one night
You
stand.
wait with me, we'll do this
I would
together.
have liked it to have been more, but she obviously was not. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is that at a car dealership?
Stop it.
she like a
Okay. What's
client?
next on the list?
All right. Have low standards of hygiene. Of course. This is of course.
Well, that's a given. So what?
Yeah.
Why do you put that in a dating app?
So-
To, like, I do not want low standards of hygiene.
And I don't mean to like call you out or whatever, but like one of my big things is guys with long fingernails. Like I just can't, it like cringes me
She
out.
gets on me a lot for clipping my fingernails when they're not that long.
And he just forgets, but
they're not when they get. I mean, like, if you can see a little bit of that white, then she's like, nails.
But
And
what
just,
girls are thinking is that there's gunk under there, and then you're touching me with all and going throughout navigating.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. Okay, what's next?
Are a sex worker or online or in
OnlyFans.
person.
That's a
right.
big problem, and I see this with, not that I've been online dating in the last 10 years or anything, but yeah, a lot of them are just soliciting for their OnlyFans
Right.
on the sites
Right.
and on the dating apps
Right.
and things.
Right.
And a lot of people are doing that, so that's definitely.
Yeah.
But why do you need to put that in your dating profile?
Yeah. No, I get it. I wouldn't date a guy that was on OnlyFans, so I agree with this.
Mm.
Okay. Have extreme political views.
Whoa.
I agree with that because I
Yeah?
think there's so much like conspiracy theories, and if you jump onto whichever side you're on, the left or the right, it can be a lot.
They're both wrong. Yeah, it's obvious that they are both wrong and they're both crazy on those both fringes, and the right answer is somewhere in the middle, depending on where it is.
Right.
But yeah, obviously you would want to be with a crazy liberal or a crazy conservative. At least I wouldn't personally. But
Here's the last one, which I think this one's awful. This is the worst one on his list. This is terrible for him to even list, but it says, are a single mother. Like,
Yeah.
why would you not date somebody that's a single mother?
Well, if you want kids of your own and you don't want to raise somebody else's kids, the upfrontness of that is probably a good thing. But it's very easy to filter that, I would feel like, because you would know instantly if someone has a kid or not.
Right.
So why do you need to say it up front and
Right.
like mess with someone's self-esteem who has a kid
Right.
by putting that in a dating
I
profile?
just don't see that as a deal breaker. I don't understand because family is just kind of off limits
I mean,
as
I get
far
it.
as deal breakers.
Maybe it's more of a gender thing because with guys,
So if I had a kid, you wouldn't date me?
no, I certainly would, but I think it's different for guys in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we missing anything on this list? What would you add? What is your...
The cat just clawed me in the... Helix. Apparently,
She's mad at
my
you.
comments about genders and things the cat didn't like. Okay.
So what's your list? Like, do you have like a top 3 that are completely just off limits for you?
Yeah.
You would...
Number one now, I mean, I have a list now. It's number one, you have to be a supermodel. And number 2, you have to laugh at my jokes, even though they're not funny. See? Even when they're not funny, you have to laugh at them. Just like that. See? And number 3, you have to like cars and like Star Trek.
Okay.
So,
Aw. She's moving in my territory
Yeah.
right now. I got some
Hi,
competition.
Neelix. So those are my new, recent requirements.
I like
But
that list.
My previous set of requirements, honestly, they weren't that high. I had a bit of a lower self-esteem
Okay.
and a lot of rejection when I was younger. And when I
Yeah.
got into dating apps initially, it was like any girl that would just want to talk to me was fine. I'm not saying have a relationship
Yeah.
with them, but just
Yeah.
when I got on Tinder, there was the meme of someone triggering a machine that just swiped right with like a power drill or something like that. That's initially I was picking yes, no, and then
Right.
because I wasn't matching and talking to anybody,
Yeah.
I just wasn't even looking. Just
Did you really?
whatever the maximum swipes per day, and then I just wanted to see who would match with me,
Right.
just to see, okay, this person thinks I'm attractive, that's nice, and just for that confidence level, because
Aw.
I didn't have a girlfriend in high school, and
Right.
the first girlfriend I had did some mean things to me,
Yeah.
and then I got dumped by my college girlfriend in a very sudden, very sad way, so it really messed with my confidence.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was, I wouldn't say desperate, but I was,
Yeah.
I just was open to I guess just about anything. At least in the entry, opening the door
Right.
of talking to someone on the internet. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say dating them or having
Right.
a relationship with them
Right.
or all that stuff, but just with that.
Yeah.
How about you?
I get it.
Tall, height,
My
6
list.
feet. Hers is 6 feet or taller,
Well,
which is so mean.
I'm 5'9".
So mean.
And if I'm wearing heels, I would date a guy that's shorter, but he just has to have this insane amount of confidence.
Except she never has.
And I haven't, but
She never has.
But-
There's no amount of confidence, I guess.
if a guy has any sort of shirtless selfie on his social media anywhere out, that is a deal breaker for me instantly.
Okay, but a selfie. But if they're doing some active thing with friends on the beach and it's clearly a candid photo or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
then that's fine.
Okay,
You know, if
but
it's
not like, I'm on the
Top
beach and
Gun.
posing for this picture just for
No,
fun.
Top Gun guys playing volleyball by the ocean, beach volleyball.
Okay.
Like that's fine. I totally get that. That's
Okay.
great. And then
Says the model that has hundreds of pictures of herself posing
I
on the
totally
beach in a
do.
bikini on Instagram.
Totally do.
But if a man does that,
I'm
it's weird.
so sexist.
It's weird.
Unbelievable how sexist I am.
No, go on.
Apparently, I'm very thirsty for comments on Instagram. And then the other one is on a first date. If the
Okay.
guy just talks about himself the whole time,
What if
that
he talks
is-
about cars and Star Trek?
that you did not. But if a guy's just sitting there talking about himself the whole time, doesn't return the conversation, isn't interested in anything about you, and it's also interesting when you're on a first date, whatever that person brings up is probably one of the most important things to them. And so you can kind of really judge the character of a person by what they want to sort of impress you with and kind of show off to you, what their storefront looks like. And so those topics that they'll bring up, I judge them really, really hard. I don't know, maybe I'm too judgy.
Wow. It's a good thing I wasn't concerned because, yeah, I hung out with April and we were working together for
Yeah.
years. So I guess at the top of the video, there is some advice, believe it or not, on how to land a supermodel, and that's not to hit on them. Because I never did.
You didn't.
She just kind of like Neelix, just like, followed me back to Kansas one day. Like, hey, I like
I was
you.
drugged and dragged. Help me. Get me out of here. So, was it at like a mechanic shop
No.
that you met this girl?
No. It was. I'm not telling that story of my
No?
one night stand.
I think,
No.
Were you selling a car? And
I
she
was
like,
not selling
buying it?
anything. No.
You weren't selling anything.
No.
Nothing to do with cars
Nothing to do with cars.
or fast food.
No, I'm not talking about this.
Ah, I'm gonna get it.
I'm not talking about this.
I'll be victorious. What happened in the morning? Was it really awkward?
She didn't stay until the morning. She just kidding. Bye, Felicia.
Oh no!
Yeah.
And that was it.
Oops.
Oh, that's okay. How are we ending this?
With my humiliation as usual. As usual. Thank you so much for watching. God dang it.
Did she really get you?
She got me. Yeah, something.
In the goods?
No, in her thigh. But it still fuses off. Be careful. Even
You
Jake
did?
was back there like, please, please.
You did
please,
have a
please."
one-night stand?
Yes.
That's so exciting. I never knew that.